Hello everyone on YouTube, it's Jordan here again, and I'm sorry things are disorganised, but let's talk about Dragon Quest 1 and 2 hd2d remake. And why just stay away from it if you're a visually impaired person. Let me tell you. So, Dragon Quest, it's a long-running JRPG franchise. It dates all the way back to Dragon Warrior 1 on the NES. And let me tell you something. I've played the original, and that game could be playable by someone who's visually impaired like me. And one of the most crucial features was a sound to indicate that you are crashing into a wall. That basically told you, look, you can't go that way, try going somewhere else. I mean, think logically. If you come across a wall and you're visually impaired, like me, say you use a cane for instance, you know that there's a wall there and you can't proceed unless you change direction. Well, that is if you're not using the wall as a shoreline and you're walking straight ahead. That's exactly what's happening in a video game. I mean, you can move your character around and have he or she crash into something. That's your cue to know, look, I've got to change direction. So what's this got to do with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 hd2d remake? Well, I'm glad you asked, because let me show you something. I'm going to show you something. Here's my Nintendo Switch 2.
Dragon Quest I in the second HD2D.
I am on Dragon Quest 2 and I am moving around. There is no sound to indicate that there is a wall in my vicinity or I have clearly hit one. The only sounds you can hear when moving around the map are the sounds that you hear when you go in and out of buildings or dungeons, or when you hit things to get items, and of course the music. I must admit, Dragon Quest has always had good music. But what's preventing me from enjoying the series as a whole? Precisely this. There is no indication in the history of the series, or apart from the 8-bit era, to let you know that you have reached a boundary. I believe there is a port of Dragon Quest 1 specifically for the Switch.
12 notification from Talking Clock.
I mean,
Pause, stop,
the original Dragon Quest 1, which has this. I'm honestly surprised they didn't use that as the inspiration for the remake, because I was so hyped when I saw this. But now I own a copy of a game that came out a few weeks ago, maybe even last week. We are in 2025 now. There is no excuse for a game to have no footstep sounds or the indication that you can't move around. Temtem has an indication that you're not moving around. Pokemon has an indication that you're not moving. The Denpa Men did back in 2012. Why can't Dragon Quest? I mean, there are so many people who want to get into this series, mainly because of the voice acting, because the voice acting in the Dragon Quest series is pretty good. So, what can you take away from this? If you're visually impaired like me, don't buy the new games. Try and get... I got these so you don't have to. Okay? And if you can't, just get the Dragon Quest 1 port instead. If all you want to play is Dragon Quest 1. Because let's be honest, DQ1's quick and easy to pick up, even on an emulator, or if you're lucky enough to have an NES. So, what can we learn from this? Well, what can Square Enix learn from this? Inclusivity is not optional. It's not an afterthought. So many game consoles now have screen readers, and game developers aren't using them. So what's the point on including a screen reader for the console when the games themselves aren't accessible? Well, unless you want to be able to navigate the menu, I know that's for menu navigation. But there are games that are accessible. Brock the Investigator and The Last of Us Part 2. But you don't buy a Nintendo Switch just to play those games. You buy a Nintendo Switch because you want to play Nintendo's first party games, or say Square Enix because they've been partners with Nintendo in the past. I'm lost for words. So to summarise, should you get Dragon Quest? I completely forgot what I was going to say then. Should you get Dragon Quest 1 and 2 hd2d remake? No. Just don't get it. If you can, play the original Dragon Quest 1. You'll have a much better experience. I even tested the original, and I could clearly hear myself colliding with a wall. Even the Pokemon series has removed this, and I'm doing this video to help you make an informed decision so that you're not deceived into buying this. Because let me make this clear. There was no need to make a new Dragon Quest 1 remake when there was already a Switch version already, apparently. That's what I've been hearing. Unless the footage I saw did include the remake and the wall sound, but I simply can't confirm it. I mean, even Dragon Quest 7 was a bad experience for me. And honestly, this game very much reminds me of Dragon Quest 7. It really does. Even though Dragon Quest 7 is much newer than Dragon Quest 1 and 2, it just does. They did improve with Dragon Quest 8, but still no wall sounds, but you could run around the map and you could hear yourself moving. All of these are missing from these new remakes. So I am just shocked. We are in 2025 and there are games like Octopath Traveler, Final Fantasy VII, and The Alliance Alive. All three of those games actually have a way for you to know that you're moving around. And in the case of The Alliance Alive, you don't even have to hold down the D-pad to move around. You can just keep mashing a button to move around, and if you don't hear yourself moving, you know you've bumped into a wall. I know that's not how the developers intended for you to play the game, but it's a brilliant feature for accessibility. So I can't stress this enough. Game developers out there, if you're planning on producing an RPG, please make sure there's an indicator that someone is that someone's moving around, that the character that you're playing as is moving around. Because the way I see it, these games just won't be enjoyable by the visually impaired until someone who's visually impaired and who's had experience with these games can talk about it. And from my experience, I honestly feel let down by Square Enix. Dragon Quest is supposed to be enjoyable, but if you leave out visually impaired RPG fans, they can't enjoy the series, and they're left either hoping that there's a fan project out there, or they're left just playing Dragon Quest 1, better known back in the day as Dragon Warrior, because it has those sound cues. But I want to know what you think. This isn't just all about me. Any of my other visually impaired viewers, what do you think? Let me know in the comments, because this is a chance for you. This is a chance for you to discuss this. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
Pause, winning, stop.
This is Jordan signing off, saying have a good day, everyone.